Ryan finds proof that his wife, Emily, might be cheating when he comes across a receipt from the Belmont Springs Resort, a hotel they had never stayed at together. His doubts grow when he realizes that on the day Emily stayed there, she was only 30 miles from home, not as far as she had said. As Ryan looks into it further, he discovers that the hotel often holds parties for couples in open relationships, where people are free to be with others, and heads to the hotel. When he enters the event area, Ryan finds about 50 to 60 people, most of whom are either engaging in intimate activities or spying on others. The dim lights and soft jazz music create an open atmosphere that allows attendees to easily let down their inhibitions and engage in uninhibited activities. In the room, there were white mats laid out on the floor, where the participants had already begun their sex acts. Some were completely naked, others were only partially clothed, but all were comfortable participating or observing. Ryan looked around and immediately recognized his wife, Emily, unmasked and completely naked. She was lying on the mat along with two young men. They were having sex right in front of a group of spectators, including people who had either participated earlier or were simply observing and commenting. Ryan recognized his wife immediately by the small heart tattoo in the middle of her chest, an unmistakable sign. Emily was completely immersed in the atmosphere of the party with her undisguised freedom. She seemed to enjoy being watched and participating in intimate activities with strangers. She moved her body smoothly and passionately with the two men who were taking turns approaching her. The scene made Ryan feel like everything special about his relationship with Emily was thrown away. What they once shared was now meaningless as he watched her with someone else without any remorse or awareness of the consequences. Ryan quietly took out his phone and recorded the entire scene. He knew he was violating the event's privacy policy, but he needed evidence to face Emily later. The comments from the people around him made his pain even more obvious. A man nearby in a black shirt said, "She really likes taking care of a lot of people at once. She's been with us a few times." Ryan just stood there listening to what people were saying about Emily. He felt numb and heavy-hearted. He didn't want to hear or see anything else. Quietly, he left the event and walked out of the hotel, feeling sad and hurt. After gathering enough proof of Emily's cheating, Ryan sat in his car outside the Belmont Springs Resort Hotel. His mind was blank, but his heart was heavy with disappointment and pain. The scene he had just witnessed was unforgettable. The image of Emily, his wife, fully engaged with two strange men, made him feel completely betrayed. The special bond they had built over 15 years of marriage now felt worthless. He had undeniable evidence of Emily's betrayal. The videos he had recorded of her engaging in sexual activities at the open sex party would be his weapon to defend himself against the law. Ryan decided to immediately initiate divorce proceedings. The next day, he went to see a lawyer in Asheville, North Carolina. During his meeting with the lawyer, he detailed everything from finding the hotel receipt, following Emily to the open sex party at the Belmont Springs Resort, to witnessing her cheating with two unknown men. When presented with a video he had taken at the event, the lawyer carefully examined it and had no doubt that it was clear evidence of Emily's adultery. With his many years of experience, advised Ryan that this evidence would give him a great advantage in the divorce process, especially if he wanted to claim property rights and other terms. Ryan thought carefully and decided not to reconcile. This marriage, to him, was beyond saving. He wanted an immediate divorce, based on Emily's breach of trust and hurt. The lawyer began to process the paperwork and prepare divorce papers based on Emily's adultery. A few days later, when the divorce papers were finalized, Ryan returned home, determined to face Emily. He held the prepared divorce papers in his hand, ready to give them to her. When he entered the house, Emily was sitting in the living room, looking normal as if nothing had happened. Ryan sat down across from her, looking at her with cold eyes. "We need to talk," he said, his voice calm but firm. Emily was a little surprised, asking again, "What's wrong, Ryan? You look stressed." Ryan sighed, then handed over the divorce papers. "Here are the divorce papers. I have everything ready. You just need to sign," Ryan said. Emily looked at the papers in shock. "Divorce? What are you talking about? We didn't have any serious problems that would need a divorce," she replied, trying to hide her fear. Ryan remained calm, but was no longer sympathetic. I saw everything, Emily. I followed you to Belmont Springs Resort. I saw you at that party with two men having sex in front of me. And I have proof, he said, and took out his phone to open the video he had recorded at that party for Emily to see. You betrayed me, Ryan said. Emily was stunned, her face pale. She couldn't deny the truth. After a few seconds of silence, she began to cry. I'm sorry, Ryan. I didn't think you would find out. It was just a moment of weakness. You have to understand, I didn't mean to leave you. We can still fix this, she pleaded, her voice shaking. Ryan shook his head and stood firm. No, Emily, you broke my trust. You ruined everything we built together. I can't forgive you for this. Emily started to cry and tried to hold him back. I love you, Ryan. Please reconsider. We can start over. But Ryan had made up his mind. You had a chance to talk to me before. Now it's too late. I'm going to file for divorce, and I want it to end quickly. In the following weeks, the divorce proceedings moved quickly. With clear evidence of Emily's infidelity, Ryan's lawyer ensured that he had a big advantage in dividing the assets. The couple had a prenuptial agreement, so Ryan kept most of the assets, including the house and joint investments. Emily tried to hold on to him throughout this process, constantly calling and texting, hoping that Ryan would change his mind. She tried to explain that participating in the open sex party was just a different experience and did not affect her love for Ryan. However, Ryan did not want to hear any more excuses. On the day the court approved the divorce, Emily still tried to hold on. She sat across from Ryan in the courtroom, her eyes filled with regret and worrying. When the lawyer presented the divorce papers, Emily shook her head, tears rolling down her cheeks. Ryan, I can't sign this. I still love you. We can start over. Please don't get a divorce, she cried, hoping Ryan would change his mind. Ryan looked at her, his voice cold but firm. Emily, I can't live with this betrayal. You broke my trust. It's over, and nothing can change that. No matter how much Emily pleaded, he wouldn't change his mind. She struggled to hold back tears and refused to sign the papers, hoping he would forgive her and come back. But Ryan had made his decision. He couldn't live with the lies and the pain anymore. After a lot of discussion, the judge looked at the evidence and listened to Ryan. He decided to move forward with the case even though Emily wouldn't sign. I officially declare you divorced, the judge announced in a calm but firm voice. This marked the end of their long relationship. Emily started to cry, but Ryan just stood up and walked out of the courtroom without looking back. His decision was final, and now their lives were starting a new chapter, one where Ryan was free from betrayal. Second story. My ex-boyfriend was my first boyfriend. We were together a year ago, but we broke up last October because of personal issues. There was no one else involved in our relationship. We got back together in June of this year. Even though we are long distance, we worked things out, and our relationship was better than before. Everything was going well until someone messaged me last Thursday 9/26 and told me that she and my ex had gone out together. She showed me their first conversation where he said he was single. They only hugged, kissed, and touched, but she didn't know he was actually in a relationship, and I can't blame her for that. I felt crushed again, not because he cheated, but because he lied about being single. It's ironic because he was cheated on in his past relationships, and now he's doing the same thing to me. I cut him off and blocked him everywhere. Now, I can't help but wonder if it was my fault for getting back with him after we had resolved our issues. Or is this just how things turned out? I need comfort, but I also want to be distant from others and probably won't start a new relationship anytime soon.